Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from the host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero psych defender of the fatherland, of Hitter 1, the one own Taranto Coastline. In the south, it is the one, the only Dumais. So be amazed. Fighting here for the German army, Deutschland, the Deutsches Afrika Korps. Setting out here with the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division in the east, it is Victorique, fighting here for the British Empire, the Commonwealth, the 45th Infantry Division. We got a CoH3 and Panzer Pioneer study for Dumais, and we got sections there for Victorique. We got here also 10 combined arms, meaning here Dumais is linked up with local Italian forces. In this case, a small Bersaglieri regiment made with some tanks in tow. Rushing west, we see with the CoH3. And just lots of Panzer Pioneer, which is a more favourite strategy among certain higher-ranked Deutsches Afrika Korps players, as they all have better long-range performance compared to the Panzer Grenadiers, sort of a more base level, which makes some players prefer them since also just cost 200 manpower. So, moving ahead this with the Panzer Pioneer there in the south, Sapling forts with the Mark II Sten guns, not the Mark III, not the Mark V, and certainly not the Mark IV, which sell no combat. So, swiftly seizing points here. Up north there, we got the Dinger out there, basically sawn off Daimler Scout car. North point, let me grab the section. Gonna probably try and put some pressure on Dumais here with the Dingo Light Scout car. Panzer Pioneer, they're based with the large amount of Sandex around the centre. Dingo rushing forwards, crashing through the fences. Panzer Pioneer narrowly managed to get over the heavy cover, but the Dingo doesn't quite care about it and just drives right around it. But of course, he can just walk right back over. We got the 2nd Panzer Squadron moving up here. CoH3 just basically in the northwest. We got some potential Bersaglieri. There we go, out here for Dumais. Dingo there being pushed back at the face of Dumais. Panzer Pioneer there having none of this. Farming here up with the 2nd Panzer Pioneer Company. South here, sappers, they're busy. North here, we got the section advancing the northern fuel point here. So far, Dumais, though, is just making great progress thanks to the CoH3's ability to just grab a lot of territory, as the Dingo, while potent in a lot of other ways, just can't seize points at all. That, of course, is a slight advantage there to Dumais, and particularly since all just went for a lot of cheap infantry units, that way just flood the field. In comparison, just, the British plan is to go for a lot of sappers, does not have that option. Victorique clearly is not interested in that. Dingo here pushing forward to right to the Panzer Pioneer and the Bersaglieri, a mix of Carnot, TK, and Carcano bolt action rifles. I can't quite specifically remember the name of the Carcano or the model there. Modello 38 maybe? I don't know. It's basically sort of a model that was initially intended to work with the rear line units of the Italian army, but as the program to move up to bigger, caliber rounds kind of backfired. They just ended up having that one left to use with the 6.5mm rounds, which is sort of one of the more unique things about the Italian army. It used smaller calibers, which, while less impactful, were also easier to use in a sense, like, less powerful. So anyways, Panzer Pioneer with flamethrowers versus the section. Victorique quickly pulls back the section there up north here. Bersaglieri caught here by the Dingo. We got a 2nd Bersaglieri squad out as well here for Dumais. As the South pulling in there with the Mark II Sten guns here, pushing them back. Far up north here, the German troops have managed to successfully breach the northern fuel point there. Victorique is rather egregiously overextended here versus the Germans/Italians. Got more Bersaglieri moving in here, engaging these sappers there. Out in the open there, so an easy target for the Bersaglieri. Tech for Dumais with the light support company. Got the Dingo rushing northwards, backed up a section here. Sap's been called out here. It was worth noting how the corporal heroically leads the other chaps forwards by pointing the weapon at the back. Well, probably not directly, but you get the point. Don't worry, chaps, this weapon revolver may not be able to hit the Germans at a distance, but it can sure hit you, so no funny business. Going straight here for the Universal Carrier. Universal, I mean Dingo. Just part of me is just used to the British always having the Universal Carrier, so the Dingo is sort of a change there. But anyways, section caught here by the Bersaglieri. Again, a lot of action fire here, going back and forth here by the section. In a bad spot, easy targets here for the Italian troops. We're having no issue there. Dingo falling back, veterans who won. In the south here, Victorique pushes their forwards, troops forwards there. We got the field infirmary up there for some nice healing there for the British. Dingo falling back, and we can also see here Mines going down for Dumais. Very sensible movement. Has a lot of punch pioneer. That means you can also lay down a lot of mines and certainly increase the chance of just stopping that Dingo in one explosive move. Tank hunters out there as well to probably deal with the cartridge much more swiftly, but of course also in the light vehicles that Dumais is likely gonna be chucking at the British here. Got the Messieri being pushed back here by the sappers and the anti-tank section here with the boys. Anti-tank rifle. Dingo pushing forwards here. Heavily damaged. Victorique definitely be careful here. Sappers almost wiped out, but there you go. Messieri being absolutely pummeled here. And there you go. We got a grenade here heading the section of retreat, killing 2 men, just 2 men to make the trek back to the base in the end. Fresh troops heading out there, but that's going to be a lot of reinforcement here for Victorique in the south there. Point being seized there, and further back here at the base for Dumais, we have an ambulance way, plus the mechanized company here could be an Achterhard, but also not impossible. We're more likely going to see a support arm elements upgrade into the Stug 3D. Some Aventus are also likely heading hard on the Caro Amato M1340. Like not going to see the same Aventus 75-18, as it is just not popular at the moment. For not particularly surprising reasons, really. It's a bit an awkward fit, though in the actual war it was reasonably popular and was actually fairly decent for its overall, size and whatnot. Even saw service with the Germans as a Stug M42, which is also the title they gave to the version with the bigger gun, with the higher velocity gun, basically the some invented, I think, 75-36. Which sort of look more like a Stug as well by having armored side skirts too. As Yeti pushing forward here, section rounded, they're 2 on health here. Victorique next, the right core then just retreats. We got the Dingo there being shot at by a lot of Germans. Of course, got the cartridges as well here. There you go. Dingo takes a bit of a beating there from the Italian forces backed up at the German bike. Far up north here, mine goes off. Dumais is, doing a really good job mining. And certainly at this point, might be in the here for Victorique to consider some minesweepers to help deal with that before they lose anything more important. Platoon command posts up here for Victorique. That may just be some Stuart light tanks here. We got the Decisive charging into here. Running to a lot of Lee Enfield Mark IVs. And of course some anti-tank rifles. Down to 3 men already. Should probably retreat here. We got Panzer moving forwards here. Nice grenade there though. Leaves Victorique's forces in a bit of disarray. We got the second section and the Dingo there. But there's a lot of flamethrowers here from Dumais. And he's not taking no from an answer here from the British. In the south here, Cartridge has got the point there. Overall good pressure from Dumais, managing to keep the Victorique fairly bit off guard here. Though with Stuarts on the way, that could fairly rapidly change in theory. As for Dumais, we do have the support armor elements. Very common pick against the British, since they will typically go for a lot of anti-tank rifles. And the Stug 3D is just very good against anti-tank rifle blobbing. And generally anything squishy. Yes, Basil. He agrees. Seizing the northern fuel point, keeping up pressure there on Victorique's fuel infrastructure. Very good. But yeah, I imagine we're looking at least a Stuart here, maybe 2 versus Dumais. Sturmgeschütze as from D, 1/3 of the way done. South here, anti-tank signal force could catch that cartridge and then blow it apart if Dumais is not careful. There we go. A few big hits, then the bike is ready to combust. And another mine goes off. Dumais just absolutely on point with these mines. I mean, 2 thumbs up. Pioneer there being blasted to bits here by the sections. Fuel pond there cut off, cutting off by the northern fuel pond there. That is definitely a bit awkward here for Victorique. Again, just Dumais just leading in there. Just constantly weaving about here, Victorique. But there you go. Now we got the Stug 3D there. The time for weaving is over. The time for beating has begun. There you go, pushing forward to the centre arm of the cannon, blasting away at the British there. Of course, adding a pin-mounted machine gun would be a good addition here. Section about to get wiped out, and there we go. Wiping Victorique. Excellent kill there for Dumais. Absolutely bang-up job there. And backed up the Italians. Dumais is feeling clearly very confident, very bold, and he's charging right at the British base. But unfortunately, there's a Stuart light tank almost done there, which could cause the Stug there a bit of a headache if Dumais isn't careful, which is very unlucky. There we go. Got the M3 Stuart light tank out there. Gonna flank around the Stug here, hit the side armor, which of course is significantly weaker. I mean, unless you're a heavy tank, though, most side armor is pretty much always weak. Typically, I think on most tanks, the standard was actually roughly around 30 millimeters. Or at least something roughly the equivalent of 30 millimeters. Fun fact there. Good shot there. Dingo knocked out. Great kill there. Don't know, was that the Stug or was that a mine that took it out there? Looks like that was the Sturmgeschütz. Cartridge in there slightly trying to mess with the pathing of the Stuart, but the Stuart is having none on that. Still, it does give the Stug a bit of time to get out there. We also got the vehicle survival package here. Smoke being deployed here. Panzer Pioneer rushing in there. And here we got Victorique charging right to the German base, trying to take out the Stug. There we go. Good shot from the Stug. Point blank blast there, though not the ability, just more of an actual description there. Doing a bit of damage into the Stuart light tank and calling the M1340 here. No M1340, but you see the Victorique pulling out the Stuart, rather than dilly-dallying about inside the German base. Though they were theoretically really too close here, but anyways, Cartridge trying to get past here, but no luck, and the crew is very much dead by the wayside. But again, up north, Dumais just keeps up the pressure, keeps up the harassment, slows down Victorique's plan, and crucially, he's probably ensuring that Ori by now, like, you know, he's not getting swarmed by Stuarts. And we got here the 250 have to got some Panzerjägers in it. We got the Stug 3D moving forwards once more, rapidly repaired by all these Panzer Pioneer. Another benefit long-term from all these Panzer Pioneer is, of course, you can rapidly repair all of your stuff. So Dumais here, and the 3rd Panzer Division goes hard on the offensive as the British. Stug 3 moving forwards here, Stuart being fixed up there with a 2nd one ready though. Things are heating up here on the armoured front. Sturmgeschütz deep pushing forwards. Pension hits him with the Stuart light tanks, already showing off a fair amount of health here. Panzerjägers moving to back up here, the Stug 3D. You see here, Victorique decides not to push the luck against Dumais. Need to fix up the Stug 3D. North hit points being seized. And we got the Pact of Steel. And a Marder 2 there for Dumais. Stug 3D, they're being fixed up meanwhile. Fun fact about the Sturmgeschütze, initially at the start of the war, and for a fair bit of it, they were actually pretty much the exclusive domain of the German artillerists when they were initially being developed. Before the war, it was only the artillery that really showed any interest in the Sturmgeschütz there, so they basically had all control of it. That basically meant, you know, they were in control, in particular what the artillery branch of the German army did was actually they would pretty much use it as the elite. So pretty much only their best artillery crews were then, you know, used in the Stugs. So a little fun fact then. That was probably also one of the reasons why Stugs, in particular, like the early stages of the war, were actually so successful. Was just like the design was good, but the crews in them were also really good. This one just stuffing like whatever, like random Otto and Albert. There goes Stuarts. Then we're buying the Stug 3D. They're punching through the front armor with some ease. 250 being blasted with the Stuarts. More shotgun for now. We got the Marder moving in. They accidentally give us away to position without actually hitting. That shot, though, definitely hit the Stuart, punching clean through the armor. Of course, once the rest of the German army realized, hang on, these things are bloody great, of course, they started to see a lot of political infighting over then also getting access to Stugs on a larger basis, which took a very long time, as obviously the artillery wasn't having any of it, and Hitler, of course, being the type of guy to play out the different branches of the army against each other, so, like, you know, to keep himself in power, also made sure, you know, they didn't easily get access to them either. So there's a little fun note there too, which would have a lot of interesting repercussions as the war went on. For example, a lot of other assault gun programs would be hijacked by Guderian and turned into tank destroyers, because while he had control of these tank destroyers, he didn't have assault guns. So in fact, a lot of the shows see mid to late war tank destroyers, like if it is something like a Marder, but you know, something that looks more like a Stug, the reality is that was actually a Stug that got hijacked by Guderian and turned into a tank destroyer. Fun fact. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it was an assault gun, it's just designated as a tank destroyer. Anyways, 3rd Stuart here. Victorique going pretty hard in the Stuarts here versus Dumais. North here, got the Stuarts going at it. No upgrades yet on the Stuarts either. That's certainly something worth keeping in mind there. Might want to do that, unless, of course, they got other plans for all those munitions. Also worth noting, like, depending on how hard they go on all these Stuarts, it would be a strong idea to get the training center and the armor upgrade for the Stuarts. since they would benefit greatly from it. In particular, once you get more and more veterancy, the bonuses from the training center actually pile on. So, like, you know, Veteran 2, Veteran 3 student can become very dangerous. But anyways, even the veterans will, of course, be extra dangerous. So we got there the Bestiary bolster up here for Dumais, and the 3rd Panzer Gunner Division here. 3rd Panzer Pioneer Company. Panzer Pioneer in the spot here. We got the students moving northwards here. Instead of charging right into Dumais, they are taking a northern path here, in part because there's not really been a lot of action, so I don't think Dumais has actually done anything to mine the north. That said, we're still not seeing any minesweepers from Victorique, and I certainly would strongly recommend Victorique to get sappers with some minesweepers when you're up against opponents laying down a lot of mines. I feel like that is a bit of an oversight here by Victorique in the face of Dumais, who is quickly up those Marder to respond to the stewards up north. We got the Panzer being ripped apart by Stewart. Finally got the Marder wing. Again misses though. By the sound of things, sappers there versus the Bestiary. Got a quick grenade off here. Got the Stug 3D there supporting. Panzerjägers there supporting on the flank. Stewards withdrawing for now. Looks like that minor probing push there was quickly withdrawn here. And Victorique is just pushing out more and more stewards. Like, this is, yeah, reminds me more of what the Germans might do with the M1340. Instead, just for Stewart light tanks. Admittedly, not quite as good in some respects, but certainly not bad either if you know what you're doing. But yeah, like, if you're going to go for that many stewards, you really want the training center to just get those bonuses going. But anyways, going for the Marder here. Catching Dumais flat-footed here. The stewards come charging in the Marder. Definitely not expecting that. It's ripped apart here. And they got the 250 off knockdown as well. Great kills here for Victorique. Dumais there got an absolutely bloody nose there. At least the infantry didn't get wiped, but that was a hell of a hit. We got 2 stewards of veterans who won. Other one is getting there, I suppose, slowly. The other steward here hits a mine. Once more, and another mine goes off here. Really, I think, highlight the need for Victorique to bring out some more savages. We do have a Vickers heavy machine gun team here to help suppress some of the German troops. Last edition. Then we got the Panzer Command. A bit of surprise here. Could work, but at the same time, with all the stewards that Victorique is chucking at him, the Panther 3 might actually get outgunned, in particular with the loss of the Marder. So, if you're going for a 5th steward, that's a full steward platoon here from Victorique. That's a bold strategy, but, like, if Dumais is completely misunderstanding what's going on here tactically and strategically, I mean, this could work out. But he'd probably better off just churning out, like, a lot of M1340s. Rather than, like, oh, well, going for some Marders. We'll see. There you go, Panther 3L here for Dumais. Got more fierce fighting up north here, but yeah, we can see that the tanks withdrawn here, the overall grip in the north here from Victorique is already lessening here. Like, if some of the stewards had been left around here, they probably could, like, push back this fairly easily. Instead, Victorique was, like, pretty quick to withdraw all of the tanks to the base. Again, this could probably also been, like, offset by going for the survival package so they could just repair closer to the front line on their own. So, it's an interesting strategy that Victorique is going for, but I feel like it's not fully developed, at least at now. Not quite fully developed. Got Panzer Pioneer sitting out there. Still one squad not equipped with... Oh, actually, they are all equipped now with flamethrowers. We got the Panzer 3 Model L almost done. More mines. Just so many mines there from Dumais, and just a complete utter lack of minesweepers. Now, even more mines. Mein Gott, we're laying down a lot of mines, aren't we? Got the Panzer 3 moving in there. Got those mines down there from the Panzer Pioneer. Reinforcing healings, that's 5 stewards. Upgrades, and no training center still. They're just gonna, like, keep churning out stewards at this rate. Or what is Victorique's plan here? Panther 3 here being engaged for the stewards. Shots bouncing, but at least one goes through here. More bouncers there. Panther 3 gets a good turn here on the steward light tank. But it's very much in his own end. Just Victorique is just charging in with, like, 5 stewards and a lot of anti-tank rifles. Now the penetrating here, we got an M1340 out here. Dumais realizes he's going to need more armor fast. And the stewards just keep the check. The Panther 4 is desperately trying to hold out there. He forgot to pop smoke, or perhaps just couldn't find the time for it. I don't know. Either way, this is about to get knocked out. We got the Italian tank moving in here, trying to buy time for the Panther 3 here. Stewart, they're leading the way here forwards, and Guess gets it, but the Panther's about to get knocked out here. The assault continues. Dumais is in a pretty amazingly bad spot. Now we got air support in its air and sea from Victorique. And there you go, the rockets come crashing down, and oh boy, the M1340's down. Stuart light tank does got in flames here. The ambulance is almost knocked out. And there we go, the RAF turns to its less talked about pastime, war crimes, as the ambulance is brutally blown apart. Stuart falling out here. Nasty hit on Dumais. Absolutely nasty stuff here. Sappers are routed. Stuart's pulling out, and there you go, hits another mine, and another Stuart goes down. So that's 3 Stuarts for an ambulance, a Panzer III, and an M1340. That's slightly beneficial for the British, I suppose. Slightly. Stuke 3 moving that set. Despite all the damage done here, and there goes Stuke D here being caught by the RAF there. No, actual anti-tank strafing were significantly less accurate. For example, out of the losses in Normandy, only about 6% of them actually came from aircraft. To put that in perspective, 7% of all German armoured losses in Normandy were from Piats. But yeah, still, despite all these losses, Dumais has got excellent map control. Victorique is really pushing onto the Stuarts in these kind of base attacks, it appears, so it may be to some degree that Victorique just doesn't really care about map control, but it's just looking like crush Dumais in his base. Another Stuart on the way there. Just continued Stuarts here from Victorique. That is certainly something else. But again, I kind of can't help but escape the feeling they would really benefit from some training center upgrades. And, you know, salve package, maybe like the tank commander in one of them. Ergo mine goes off on the Panzer Pioneer's feet there. Blowing them right off. More mines there from Dumais. This could backfire on him again. Nope. Then gets it off there. Lucky Dumais. This is a rather natty. 4th Stuart light tank done here. Marder 2 more on the way here for Dumais to respond to the sheer numbers of the Stuart light tanks from Victorique. North here point being grabbed by the Vickers. Tank 100 section moving into grab points as well there. Dumais cancels the Marder 2. Okay, Dumais here decides on something else. Entirely going for armoured reserves. You wonder what that's about. I don't think it's about a Tiger tank. Dumais does not strike me as the type to just go for Tigers because he finds them very pretty and nice. So I'm guessing it's some of the other choices he might have there in mind. Which one is it? Would it be the Panda 4, the Stug Assault Group? Because the Panda 3 one is definitely, I think, easily the worst choice out of the 3 at the moment. Well, 4 of them technically. But like the Stug one, I think is pretty good for its cost. Get them at like a pretty good discount, 300 manpower and 40 fuel. It's like pretty good cost for Stug G. Mines down here from Dumais, and still just 1 sapper section. I mean, also never mind just all the Stuarts like Victorique has at this point. She really should, I think, consider some more sappers to repair them. Northern pumping seized here by the British forces. 45th Infantry. Again, we got another move into the Northern Highlands here. As Dumais is heavily entrenched in the south here. And then M1340, and of course the Stug 3D, close to 82. More mines going off up north. By the sound of it. Yep, another Stuart hit a mine. And still no minesweepers. Attacking the base here, or at least the terrain outside. We got the 5th Stuart out again here from Victorique versus Dumais. So yeah. Like the Panther 4 assault group is pretty good. I think the Stug G is also. Panther 3 one just isn't really worth the cost at all. Tiger tank, you know, maybe, but like I think to go for the Tiger tank right now would be an absurd move there by Dumais. I think the Stug G or the Panther 4 here, but certainly there's all these Stuarts. I suspect the Stug G is the best choice, particularly to go for the tungsten culmination. That would certainly make those Stug Gs hit very hard. Another Stuart. We are like already at 5 Stuarts, so going into 6 Stuarts. Alrighty, then there you go. Yes, we do get the Stug assault group here from Dumais. Good golly. He really wants to get a machine gun there on top. I'd say that's a good addition. Now, the first Stuke was actually a higher velocity gun than, one the Stuke. It was actually the Stuke F8, which sort of went for a slightly higher velocity, but not quite as high as this one. But it's just the same gun as used in the Panther 4, by the way, just slightly different name. But there you go, Stuke gets the tank hunter section here. Panther 4's rushing out. Stuke D being flanked by the Stuarts. Need the Stuke G to assist. There we go. Good shot on the Stuart here. Stuke D there being pummeled by the sheer number of Stuarts. The Stuke Gs are returning fire here on the Stuart light tanks. Most of the shots bouncing harmlessly off the Stuke G's frontal armor. There you go. Another pair of hits here. And 13 moving in. We've got the Italian troops moving in. Oh, British troops moving in. They're definitely not Italians. There we go. Stuke G obliterates Paul Ralph. And the far south here looks like Victorique is sneaking up some Stuarts there. How many Stuarts are they up to? I think it's 6. And 6 Stuarts so far. Fixing up the Stuke D. The Stuke Gs can quickly repair the damage themselves.
Repairs completed.
Bit of quiet here. Victorique pulls back all the Stuarts for some repairs. Some fixes. Section from the north. Dumais moving to screen the flank. Maybe some more mines. Again, Victorique's complete lack of minesweepers is actually a bit disturbing. And there you go. Brief use of fine position. Stuke G's going to assist. Still pin up machine gewehren. There you go. Quick shot here from Victorique in the face of the Sturmgeschütze. Just got a big old pile of Stuarts here. With another one. He's got. Like, Victorique's going to have like 7 Stuart light tanks. So this is going to be one of those, again, like massive tank battles involving just a lot of light armor. And a mix of Stukes this time around. Company 3 continues to absolutely amaze. Fix up the Stuart there. Still no training center either.
Utility vehicle as requested. Ready.
Couple blitz out there to replace the one lost. Got the Stukes waiting out. Still no Pinamat machine gewehren. But then again, considering like how Victorique is increasingly relying on the Stuarts, the machine guns are quite frankly a bit redundant.
God damn it.
So we got 2 Stuarts here, 5 here. Basically a full strength platoon and an understrength platoon. Yikes. Looks like the understrength platoon is going straight for the base. Perhaps acting as bait. I mean, we're really seeing like larger scale armored maneuvers in Company 3 like nothing else. And there you go. Stuart's hit. Could be spotted by the Stukes on the hill. No, Victorique, I think, realized the position, pulls back. Moves back the first platoon's half-strength platoon here. Going into Dumais' base and is starting to wreak havoc here. Again, it feels like Victorique is trying to bait Dumais, rush into the base, and then sledgehammer the full-strength platoon into Dumais' armor. No, there you go. Again, the mines. The mines can just be some excellent investment. There you go. Italian tanks here arriving. But Victorique pulls a quick one here on Dumais and quickly separates the 2 tank rather by again using Dumais' own base buildings against him. And there you go. The M1340 stand. He does get a Stuart in return, but it's not quite as clear cut. There goes Stuart rushing in, the one with the damage. And now we've got air support once more being unleashed by the RAF here. Dumais' base is becoming a maze of destruction. And there you go, another M1340 gone. The base is just ablaze with tank wreckage. Up north, the Stuke Gs are sort of like, I think something's happening down there. And the Stuke D's moving to clear out the rest up north here. Vic's machine crew obliterated by the Stuke D. Meanwhile, the Stuke G's rushing southwards here as Victorique commits more armor into the base of Dumais. Like, Dumais' base is playing host like one of the largest tank battles so far of the Italian front. Oh boy, Stukes are moving up, and need to be careful about the RAF there. Stuarts moving about, the Stukes firing away there at the Stuarts. There you go, RAF shoots for the miss. They actually miss. Great bit of fortune there for Dumais. Another base building down here. Like, Victorique, I think, is just going for victory by annihilation against Dumais. There you go, one more Stuart going up in flames here as Dumais' base is just being turned into a tank graveyard. Stuart's going for the Stukes. The shots of either penetrating or bouncing depending on which side you're on as opposed to the Stuarts are getting closer here. More shots going through now. Stuke, they're caught in a bad spot. Could actually try and pop rapid fire here, but I guess it's too late now. Oh dear, another Stuart is done. We just down to like 2 Stuarts. Another M1340's arrived here. And there you go, the Stuarts rushing out. Like, imagine all these tanks are like training. I think that could have been it for Dumais here. But anyways, Stuarts being pursued by the Stuke and the M1340. Stuarts are holding us. There you go, another mine goes off. And the Stuarts are in a terrible position here. 1 down, 1 to go with another one arriving here. And there you go, the M1340 explodes. Christ. Panzerpino is the tank section. Got the Stuart forward. Stuke 3G needs to be careful. It is also close to Vecchi 2 here.
We have vehicles available in reserve.
I suppose you could transfer out for another Panther Stuke assault group, I suppose, but I don't think you're going to do that. Vecchi 2 and the Stuke shot bounces. Stuke being hauled back here for some most needed repairs and what remains of Dumais' base. Victorique meanwhile goes for another assault with the Stuarts. We got another M1340 out here. Stuke flanked either by Stuarts or by anti-tank rifles. We got the machine gun bungalows cut the flank there. Going for the Stuart inside the base here. Looking to destroy here Dumais' base. I don't think it's going to work out for Victorique though. Stuke demoing in there, forcing Victorique to retreat, and there you go. Another Stuart is turned to scrap, and there we go. That is it. Apparently, Churchill ran out of credit line on those Stuart tanks. So there you go. Quite the match here with quite some intense tank battles, all confined within Dumais' base. So many Stukes, so many Stuarts. Absolute madness here. An interesting strategy here by Victorique, though, just again aiming for annihilation with quite a bit of effort. But again, I feel like the Stuarts should have been upgraded to some degree, and the training center should have been there. I think had Victorique had those 2 elements going for them, I think they'd have been in a much stronger position here versus Dumais. But I feel like they got a bit too tunnel vision there on just that one particular element with the Stuarts, and just, I think, lock themselves out of like potential more ways of winning here. But still, quite a match. Incredibly solid play here by Dumais there, and nice to see some Stuke 3Gs there in the heat of it. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I've learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. You can also support the Propagandacaster's worth it by donating or pledge on Patreon by the links in the video description. Every bit helps me out keep making these videos. Or if you're interested in the market for companies, you can just leave it in the comments using the code Stuke3G. So thank you for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.